everybody, it's Katie, the Celestial Homebody, and I hope you're all having a better week than I have had, well, this past week. If you don't notice, we are in a different locale today. We are down in my dining room because the title, the thumbnail of this video was not clickbait. I spent this weekend in the ER. And I cannot walk up or downstairs, so I am living in the downstairs of my house. I can't go upstairs and get yarn or anything like that. I'm going to talk about why I was in the ER in just a little bit here. I went through it this week, you guys, and I need to vent to my friends. Actually, most of it was good. Most of it was pretty awesome, actually. So earlier this week, I had a doctor's appointment because next Wednesday on November 12th, I'm supposed to be having my gastrointestinal surgery. I'm having my gastric sleeve converted to the gastric bypass, as well as a hiatal hernia repair. So that's supposed to be happening next week. And I'm saying supposed to because of the reason why I was in the ER, which we'll get to. But I had to do a pre-op thing. So we had to drive all the way out to Indianapolis, which is an hour away. And I had to do like blood labs and an EKG and everything for them to make sure that I was ready for surgery, which is kind of a bummer because if you were not in the loop, this surgery was supposed to happen back in September and it was postponed. So I had already done this appointment. So that was like a half a day thing, just to drive out to the city to do all that and then drive home. So that took up like an entire day. So I didn't crochet like at all. I did crochet a tiny bit in the car, but I was getting a little motion sick, which is weird for me. I usually don't get motion sickness in the car, but I don't know. I think I was just tired because my appointment was at 9 a.m. And if you know me, you know that that's like the time that I go to bed normally. That's an exaggeration, but I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning and then wake up at like noon or 1 p.m. the next day because my husband works second shift. It's a long story, but anyways, I had to wake up very early in the morning. I got like no sleep. I didn't eat anything before we left the house because I had to fast for labs. So I think that's why I was getting motion sick. So I did like 3 stitches and I was like, nope, we're not about this today. So unfortunately, that was like a whole day gone with being able to crochet. So there was that. So on Tuesday, I went and took all of the Sawyer Stitches donations to St. Vincent in Indianapolis. So I have some footage from that. So we'll roll that right now. All right, we are here at Ascension St. Vincent in Indianapolis. This is the newer hospital. This is not the hospital that Sawyer was treated at. It's all the same staff. They just have a new fancy schmancy building. One of the biggest NICU hospitals in the country, I believe, at very least in the Midwest. But we had to park on the top of the parking garage, as you can see. It was packed full. So we've got the baby with us in the stroller. So I think we're going to have to try to Jenga stack all of the donation boxes on top of the stroller and then just carry the baby in so that we only have to walk over there one time because it's a little bit of a trek to where we're going and we have a lot of donations. I'll show you. So we have 2 boxes squeezed down there. We've got this big one here and we've got one more. Also, here's what the tags look like. So we are meeting my good friend Jenny here. She is the bereavement coordinator, bereavement nurse, and she was there for us right after Sawyer passed, and her and I have stayed in touch these past few years, and I will occasionally do seminars for nurses because she runs like a bereavement nurse it's kind of like a TED Talk for many nurses in the NICU field, and she oftentimes asks me if I can speak on behalf of parents of loss, and so I always really enjoy doing that for her. Actually, the next one is coming up. Unfortunately, I can't do it in November because I'm having surgery the day before, so I'm still going to be in the hospital when it happens. But we're meeting Jenny here. She was there when Celeste was born too, because we had her at this hospital. Well, their old building, but all right, we got it all stacked up Let's grab the child and head in. You guys, it is freezing out here. Oh my gosh. It is definitely fall. I don't know how cold it is today, but it's a wee bit chilly. It's a bit nipply out here. Am I gonna fit through here? Think skinny thoughts. We did it. There is a playground on the roof over here. It's very swanky. Look at this. See you, Jenny. There go all of our donations.
There we go.
Oh, but Celeste is saying bye-bye.
Bye, Celeste.
Bye-bye. Bye, Jenny. Have a great day. All right, so she gladly accepted all of them. So fortunately, this hospital, as big as it is and has many NICU beds as there are, she does not have immediate need for 158 crocheted items for babies who have passed, which is great news. But there are a couple of sister hospitals through Ascension, Ascension, that she works with. She has counterparts all over the state of Indiana. So she said that she is going to go through everything and separate them based on what each hospital needs. So we can all rest assured, we're getting in the elevator, come with me. We can all rest assured that everything that you guys sent me and everything that I made is going to go to hospitals that will use it. They're not just going to sit there in an office or a back room. They will be given to families. And it was actually really sweet because as Jenny and I were standing there chatting, we just talked for like an hour because it's been a while since I've seen her. It looked like a hospital administrator that she didn't say what her title was, but she came up and she just said, "Oh my gosh, did you make all these?" And I said, "No, I made a few of them." I made like 3 of them, but most of them were made by my amazing crochet family and community. And Jenny told me that she is part of the club too. And if you don't know, the club refers to parents who have lost a baby. So this hospital businesswoman, administrator, whoever she was also very grateful for the donation. So thank you endlessly to everybody who sent me blankets and hats, or if you made some and donated them to your local hospitals, thank you. So for the donations, you guys, we had a total of 158 items that were donated, hats and blankets, on behalf of baby Sawyer, who passed away in 2023, as well as all of the other babies in heaven who are not here on earth with us. So thank you endlessly to everybody who contributed to Sawyer Stitches. It means the absolute world to me. I can't even explain to you how much it means. Last Wednesday, I went to get a new tattoo. Technically, I got 2 new tattoos. One of them, I'm not going to show you guys. It's on this arm over here. I'm not going to show you guys because it's very personal. It is my baby's faces and their birth dates and their birth flowers. So that one is still healing too. But the other one, if you see stuff flying around, it's just dust and fluff. I know I live in an old house and I'm in my very old dining room. There's a giant crystal chandelier above me that has a bunch of cobwebs on it. It's really embarrassing, so I'm happy you guys can't see it. A lot of people think that my house is haunted. I don't think that it is. Those aren't ghost orbs. I can literally see with my eyeballs fluff flying around and dust probably. But anyway, the other tattoo that I got is on this arm, which is currently wrapped in saran wrap because they put on, it's called a Sanoderm, also known as second skin after you get a tattoo. They'll put, it's kind of like cling wrap that they stick to your tattoo site, and then that like helps it heal. So that came off a few days ago, and then we're at the stage of the healing where it is like scabbing and peeling. I know, TMI, it's gross. But it's after this stage where like that vibrant color really comes through. So that tattoo that I got, oh, Celeste is awake. Hang on. Nope, she's putting herself back down. I'm looking at the monitor right here. I'd have to call Ryan for that because I can't go upstairs. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the tattoo that I got is of my all-time favorite, or from my all-time favorite franchise and game franchise, and that is Animal Crossing. If you did not know, I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. And side note, I am hyped for the January update. If you are in the Nintendo community and Animal Crossing lover, there is a giant update coming to the game in January. And if I go missing for a few months, that's what I'm going to be doing. But it is a character from Animal Crossing that I hold very near and dear to my heart because she is a celestial being and she is my daughter's namesake, well, one of her namesakes, and that is Celeste. I will put a picture of my tattoo up on the screen right here. And this is like a watercolor Celeste. My tattoo artist did such a phenomenal job. If you are in the Greensburg, Indiana area, Skeleton Crew Tattoo, JR, I have gotten all my tattoos from him, almost all of my tattoos from him, and he does a fantastic job, and he is super friendly, and we chatted the entire time. But all of this to say that Ryan and I both went in to get our babies' faces tattooed. And by faces, I'll just give you a little sneak peek. That's all you get. It's just the little outline of their little profiles, and then they intertwine with their birth flowers and their birth dates. But Ryan and I got matching ones, except on Ryan's, his doesn't have the flowers, it's just their faces. So Ryan went first, and then he had to leave for work, and so I got my Celeste tattoo done, and then I got the babies done, and I ended up being there all day long. I was there from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So fortunately, my mom was here at the house watching the baby, so I did not have to rush getting home, but it was a lot. After the end of the day, you guys, after talking to somebody for 9 hours, and don't get me wrong, it was great conversation. We laughed, we cried, it was fantastic. My social battery was depleted, so I got home and I was just like a zombie. And I just popped a squat on the couch, and I was just so tired to even pick up my crochet hook or yarn, and I just turned on the TV and just vegged out because that was all I had the energy to do before bed. So that was another day gone that I did not crochet at all. Then on Thursday, I crocheted a little bit, and I also filmed a video that came out on Friday. Hands up in the, there's another piece of dust fly by. Hands up in the comments if you guys watched Friday's video when I was dressed as Princess Rosalina from the Super Mario franchise, and we did a Halloween challenge, I guess we could call it challenge. It was where I was making a monster, and every time I spun the wheel, it would determine like which direction the monster would go. So I did not get to choose the colors, the accessories on it, any of that stuff. It was all by the spin, the look of the spin, and I was dressed as Rosalina. So I did that on Thursday. So I did crochet on Thursday and got one project done, and I will show you what I ended up making in just a little bit here when I show you my makes this week, which is not very much, to be honest with you. So Thursday, got that video done that went up on Friday. That Friday video did not perform well, so if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it, especially if you prefer my vlog style videos. That's one for you because it's more like vlog style. Like I'm walking you through all of my choices and the issues in the pattern if I had any along the way and all of that stuff. So I highly recommend giving it a watch. I will link it for you in the description box as well as at the end of this video if you have a little bit of time and you want to go give that a little sneaky peek when you're done here. But then on Friday was actual Halloween. So we, of course, went trick-or-treating all day long on Friday. What was I doing? I was kind of getting ready because we had a Halloween party to go to on Friday night. So, oh, side note, by the way, in Friday's video that came out when I was dressed as Rosalina with like the blonde wig, because Princess Rosalina is like platinum blonde, I got so many comments that said that blonde suits me and that I should dye my hair blonde. And it makes me laugh because I was blonde for so many years. Like all through high school and college, I had like platinum blonde hair and I just got so sick of bleaching it. My hair, like I would brush it and it would just break because it was so damaged from the constant bleaching. Also, no matter how hard I tried, I could never truly get the red out of the blonde. So I would have to like not only bleach it, but I would have to tone it like 4 or 5 times to get the orangey red color like subdued. And so my hair was just screaming for help. So I stopped bleaching because that is so incredibly damaging. But it's just funny to me that a lot of you guys were like, blonde suits you. I'm like, I know, because I was blonde for a very long time. Also, when I was blonde, everybody said that I looked like Taylor Swift. That was when I was both skinny and blonde. So maybe you could see the resemblance. I don't know. I don't really see it personally, other than the fact that my hair was blonde and my eyes are blue and kind of small like hers. But that's about it. That's the extent of it. But anyways, I'm not going to dye my hair blonde, okay? Don't hold your breath if that's what you were counting on. But anyway, so for the Halloween party, I did not want to dress up in that Rosalina costume because I didn't want to have to deal with the wig. I said in Friday's video that the wig was just like, it was so cumbersome. I had to put so much hair glue into it to get the bangs to stay the way that they were, and the little side pieces kept like flopping all over the place. Plus, just wearing a wig in general is not super comfortable in my opinion, especially with how thick my hair is. It is near impossible for me to hide all of my hair under wigs. So I just did not want to deal with that at the Halloween party. Do you wear wigs? Do you wear wigs? There we go. That's a little bit better, the accent. You guys know that meme with Elijah Wood, that Lord of the Rings interview. Oh my gosh, that's a classic. When will you wear wigs? Every time I talk about wigs, that's what I think of. But anywho, on Friday's video, I mentioned that I would put pictures in here of the glamour shots that we took of me as Rosalina. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm on pain meds, so excuse me, my franticness. I will put in pictures right here of me dressed as Princess Rosalina, the glamour shots. Ryan took these for me. We have a whole little studio setup that we can pull out in our garage. So yeah, they turned out really nice. And I don't look that good IRL. That is just a crap ton of makeup and really good lighting. But anywho, so I didn't want to wear that to the party that we went to on Halloween night. So I ended up just wearing a very sparkly dress and sparkly tights and went as a disco ball. I have my dress right here, actually. Well, okay, it's not the dress, but it's the sash that goes to my dress. So this is what it looks like. So I was a disco ball. And then I could just wear like my hair normal. So I spent most of the day on Friday just waking up, having breakfast, and then getting ready for Halloween night. And then about 4 p.m. we left for my mom's house. She lives in a suburb of Indianapolis. So I like going to her house because her little neighborhood is like chock full of trick-or-treaters. Whereas here we live out in the country in like rural Indiana. So we don't get a ton of trick-or-treaters. And if we do, then they're getting literally bussed in from the country. And I don't know, it's not as much of a vibe. She lives in a neighborhood that is very much so like Halloween Town vibes. Like the street that she lives on a street that has like the post office and things like that. And so they all decorate and they open their doors for people to come in and trick or treat. So it is just a vibe. So we went to her and we walked down the street to grab dinner at one of her favorite restaurants. And then we took Celeste trick-or-treating for the first time last year. She she was literally just a larva because she was only 3 weeks old. But this year she is walking assisted. She loves to hold on to the basket of the stroller and push her stroller. That's her favorite thing to do. So she walked around dressed as a little pumpkin, and it was precious. And it was very cold because we are officially in fall in Indiana, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, it was very cold. So we did not stay out very long because I didn't want her to get too cold. If I was cold, I knew that the baby was cold. So we walked up to exactly three houses, one of which being my mom's, to trick or treat. We got the experience. It was fine. And then Ryan and I finished getting ready for the party while Celeste handed out candy with my mom, and it was absolutely precious. And then we left for the party at 9 p.m. and we were there like all night. We didn't get home till like 3:30 in the morning. We went with our friends, Melissa and Josh. I've talked about them on the channel before. Their daughter, by the way, they have a 7-year-old daughter who thinks it's the coolest thing in the world that I am a YouTuber, and she really wants to be in a video. So if you see Aslan in a video coming up, then just know that she is dying. She's been asking me, she's like, when are you free to come over? My mom and dad can go out and you can babysit me and we can film a video. And I'm like, all right, sis, let me check my calendar. I'm a busy woman. It's just so cute. But anyways, so we went to the party with them and that was a ton of fun, but we got home very late. And by home, I mean back to my mom's house. We stayed the night at my mom's and then drove home early the next morning. Well, this is where things get a tad spicy, my friends. So as we were leaving my mom's at like 9 o'clock in the morning, I had only gotten like 3 hours of sleep. I was loading the baby into the car, into her car seat, and I got her strapped in and everything. And then I took a step back and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I hear a pop and feel a pop in my right knee. And then my knee just gave out. It just gave out. And I did not fall over because Ryan was standing right behind me. So he like caught me, but then I like instantly screamed in pain and got in the car, and like the entire way home, like I was just like screaming, like it was hurting so badly, like worse than labor pains hurting. And I have had knee problems pretty much my whole life. This is a TLDR, okay? This is long story short. When I was a preteen, I had Osgood-Schlatter's in both of my knees, which is where your growth plates get fractured because you grow too quickly. And being 6 feet tall, all of that height came between middle school and high school for me. Like the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade, I grew like multiple inches and it was wild. But anyway, so ever since my Osgood-Schlatter's, my knees never fully developed properly. So they've always been weak. And my weight doesn't help it. But even when I was like 100 pounds lighter, I still had very weak knees. Like I've never been able to do like squats or stand up from a squatting position. And my orthopedic surgeon says like that unfortunately is just a side effect of being so young. Your growth plates getting shattered into a million little fragments. They just did not grow properly, and then the ligaments around them did not form properly. So unfortunately, that's just something that I've dealt with my whole life. I also, on top of that, have AS, which is a autoimmune disease. It's like a cousin to MS. And it results in, over time, your ligaments and muscles calcifying and turning to bone in your major joints. So that's like your elbows, your neck, your back, your hips, your knees. So over the past couple of years, I've also had like that calcifying of my joints in my knees. So all of this to say, my knees have always been really bad. So when I heard this pop, I didn't think too much of it. I'm like, that's just my knees just being assholes like they always are. And but the amount of pain that I was in was nothing like I had ever experienced. But I was like, There have been days when I've had good days with my knees where they don't hurt at all, and then bad days where I just wake up or I just step wrong and then it hurts all day long. And it was a very similar feeling pain, just never to this extent. Like this was a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale. The greatest I had ever felt was like maybe a 7 out of 10 on the pain scale on the day to day. So I get in the car and the entire way home, I'm just sobbing. It hurts so bad, but I'm thinking like, I don't want to go to the ER right now. I got like no sleep last night. The baby is like awake for the day. I really don't want to have to deal with her in the ER. So much was going through my mind. So I was just like, okay, let's go home and I'll ice it and I'll elevate it and straighten it. And then maybe later today, if it's still in a great amount of pain, then we can go to the doctor. So that's what we did. We came home. I went straight upstairs, but I say that with a sigh because it took me about 45 minutes to get up the stairs. And when I tell you that I was screaming in pain, like I did not even scream like that when I was in labor with my son. Like that, like it was like I threw up. I was in so much pain. And I still, stubborn me, I was like, I really don't want to go to the ER right now. I made it up the stairs eventually and laid in bed and fell asleep. And the entire time I was sleeping, like just really poor quality sleep because it was just, my entire leg was just radiating, like just pain, like a pinched feeling going all the way up my thigh and going all the way down my shin into my ankle. And so I spent like all day yesterday just sleeping, hoping that I could sleep off the pain. Plus I was just tired from being out the night before. And finally, like 7 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, okay, I feel so helpless. Like I could not even get up and go to the bathroom by myself. And that in and of itself, just like, I don't know. I don't like feeling helpless. And that feeling of helplessness really was getting to me almost more than the pain was. And so I was like, okay, let's go to the ER and figure out what's going on. So I went down the stairs the best that I could. That also took like another 45 minutes. And incredible hysterical crying. And the entire time we drove to the hospital, I had my seat all the way back and like my leg straight out. And we live in a very small rural area. There's only a few hospitals around us and none of them are equipped with like MRIs or anything. Well, they are, but not in the ER and like at certain times of day. They don't operate those. So we went to a local hospital and they're like, unfortunately, we can't do an MRI of your knee because we don't have that capability right now. So fortunately we were able to walk straight in. There was like nobody else there. I did bring my whips bag with the intention of crocheting while I was there, but I was in so much pain that I just like, I couldn't even bring myself to pull out the hook. So finally, the doctor comes in and takes a look at the knee, and my knee is completely, what's the word? Deformed. It is like dented on one side, and then I have a protuberance on the other side. It's very swollen, like next to underneath the kneecap, and it's like dislocated my kneecap. And the ER doctor, without doing a MRI to officially confirm, he said that based on my limited range of motion, because I cannot lift my leg, I cannot straighten it completely or bend it at all without intense level 10 pain. Can't lift it. I can wiggle my toes just fine, but even like moving my ankle hurts. So his theory is that my patellar ligament completely snapped. And that is the ligament that holds your kneecap to your shin joints and bones, I think. I don't know. I was half listening because I was in so much pain. But he was like, that's why you're getting that radiating pain all over, because it's likely that that tendon just snapped. I don't know if I said joint earlier. The patellar tendon just snapped. And so my theory is that over the past couple months that I've been having like really bad knee pain on some days, I'm thinking that that tendon was, because tendons are like rubber bands, right? Like it was just getting like stretch, and then on some days like it would be painful, but I would just push through it because I've always had knee problems. And then yesterday I just stepped on it the right way for it to just snap. So unfortunately, because it was a weekend, I cannot get in for an MRI until tomorrow. So I need to call the orthopedic surgeon tomorrow and see when the soonest possible I can get in for an MRI to confirm the damage on my knee. But the ER doctor said that unfortunately, the only way to repair a ligament tear like this is through surgery. So was supposed to be having, like I mentioned earlier, I was supposed to be having my gastrointestinal surgery next week, but now we might have to postpone that one again so that I can get my knee surgery. And part of me is like, well, can we just do like both of them like back to back so that like if I'm gonna be down, I might as well be down for both instead of being down for a month for one and then waiting a while and then being down for a month for another, you know what I mean? But the only caveat to that is that after my gastrointestinal surgery, they're very worried about blood clots. So they want you up and walking around. And if I have mobility issues, then that could be an issue. However, that being said, a lot of people who go through the process of getting like a gastric bypass have mobility issues, period. So I would imagine that like the surgeons and like the postpartum, not that, the post-op nurses would have ways of like combating if I cannot put full pressure on my knee. So that is where I am right now. So I cannot walk up and down stairs. I can, but the doctor was like, I really recommend that you don't, because even a little bit of pressure on that knee could make things even worse. And right now it's like everything around that ligament is just so swollen. Who knows what that ligament hit when it snapped? There could be other things that were torn at the same time, like a meniscus or ACL. We don't know the extent of the damage right now. We just know that I'm in a lot of pain. I cannot move my legs, so I am in a brace, and I get these fashion accessories. I'm thinking about decorating them. I was thinking about maybe crocheting little like sleeves for them to make them beautiful. But then I was like, by the time I'm doing that, then maybe I'm not going to need them anymore. But I did talk to the ER doctor about like what recovery would look like. And he was like, I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but from his knowledge, after surgery, I would be on like weight bearing limits, restrictions, and not being able to put any weight on my knee post surgery for, I think he said 4 to 6 weeks. And then after that, I would need like 3 times a week physical therapy if the tear is as bad as he thinks that it is, based on him looking at my knee and feeling it and my description. So maybe I'll have these puppies as a permanent fixture. And you guys know what the worst thing about all of this is? Well, it is pretty awful that I have to wait and maybe postpone my other surgery for a second time. But even worse is that I have a market this weekend. On Saturday, I have a market, and there is a chance that I'm going to pull out of it. But to be honest with you guys, I think I'm going to push through. And now I know a lot of you guys are going to pull a mom on me and say, Katie, don't you dare. but it is a very chill market. It's only for 4 hours. It is a one table situation. Ryan's going to be with me. My mom's going to have the baby. It's going to be very chill. So it's going to be like, of all of the markets that I have coming up, this is going to be the best one for me to just like sit and stretch my leg out, and I'll have my crutches if I need to walk around. But it's kind of unfortunate because it's like I had so many grand plans in my mind, you know, about prepping for this market coming up. There's some things that I need to restock, but I haven't had any time to crochet this week. And then this weekend, I was planning, like literally as we were leaving my mom's, about to put the baby in the car when my knee popped. I was telling Ryan, like, okay, today and tomorrow, I really got to focus on crochet, and I need to do like this, and this. Like I was going to make like $400 of inventory to show you guys for this video. And then that happened, and I was out all day yesterday. And then today, all I've been doing, because I've been in such pain, is laying on the couch, watching my favorite YouTubers play The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And to be honest with you guys, I have so little interest in crochet right now. When I'm done filming this, I might just go edit it really quickly and then play my Switch, because I don't know, I just need something that my mind can really zone out on and like really focus on at the same time, so that I'm not focused on the pain, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I might put on Zelda or something like that. But today I did crochet a tiny bit, and I did finish something that I'm going to show you here. So that was a lot of me talking and rambling. But I know that some of you guys at least like it when I update you with life things, and this is like a major life thing. So if over the next couple of weeks I seem off, or I'm in different locales around the house that are not my office or whatever, then that, you know why. And next week, I might be having my major gastrointestinal surgery. I might not. It's all up in the air right now. It depends on what the surgeon says tomorrow when I ask. So if you see different content from me upcoming, then just know it's just because I'm on the mend. I'm trying to recover my own body and my sanity, so I'm not having time or the bandwidth, energy, whatever you want to call it, to sit down and film videos for you guys. But on the bright side, I do have a couple of videos pre-recorded that will go up in lieu of our regular This Week's Makes videos on Monday. Just do me a favor and watch them, please, because I am working very, very hard on them. I just know that it's not the usual content, and usually when I upload the not usual content to YouTube, even if it is like crochet related, like on Monday, if I don't do a This Week's Makes, YouTube algorithm flags that, and then I get put in algorithm jail for a few months. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but it's important to me to get videos out for you guys, because I know that listening to my voice is relaxing for some of you. I don't know why, but I know that a lot of you guys like to have me on your TV, where I probably am right now as you're sitting there crocheting. What you working on? Leave me a comment, let me know. So let me show you what I made this week. Oh, I did make something not crochet, and that is I made a couple of sets of these eyes earlier this week on Monday, and I only have 4 of these left on the website, but I had gotten these purple pupil eyes in from AliExpress, and I remembered that I had made eyes just like these when I was on the crochet retreat that I put in my little Moonbeam plushie, if you remember her. She's like a little creature. She has the purple pupil eyes with this exact glitter pigment in it. I made these on the retreat, and so many of you guys said that you would be interested in purchasing those eyes if I ever made more. So since I got my own purple pupils, I did make a couple sets. I had made 10 of these, and there are only 4 left. So I'll link them in the description box for you. These are the Moonbeam eyes available on thecelestialhomebody.com. They're 30 millimeters and they're really pretty. So I have these out to show you, but I have a order that I was requested to show you. So Summer, if you're watching this, thank you for placing your order for eyes. She left a little comment when she ordered on Shopify through my website and said, can you please show this on video? And so I held on to this package all week just to show you guys. She also got a couple stickers, so I'll show you these super quick. So she got a professional hobby collector sticker, the big one. She got a Lorelei Leafeon X Animal Crossing sticker. She also got an Astrina, who is like Espeon inspired Animal Crossing character. She got a Snitches Get Stitches sticker. And finally, a Pink Pony Club sticker. My voice kind of cracked when I sang pink there. Sorry, that was a little atrocious. But thank you again so much, Summer, for your order, and to everybody who took advantage of the free shipping on sticker orders. I'm so happy that I did that last week because I cannot see myself doing a sale like that again anytime soon. With recovery, I'm just not going to be able to fulfill orders. So thank you to everybody who took advantage of that. I was contemplating keeping all the orders set aside and showing them to you guys because I know a lot of you like to see what others purchased, but I just wanted to get them out. So they're all on their way to you except for Summer, since she explicitly asked for me to hold her order to show it on screen. Okay, so let me show you what I did crochet this week. Finally, like 35 minutes into the video. So this is Chadwick the Monster. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about him because this is the guy that I made in Friday's video. So if you want to know about the pattern and the yarn and everything, go watch Friday's video. But this is Chadwick. He was already adopted literally the day that I put out the video. My friend Isabel, who has purchased tons from me, thank you, Isabel, went ahead and adopted Chadwick. And I know a couple of you also said that you went to go adopt him and he was already sold. So maybe I'm gonna have to make more Chadwicks. But the color situation, you might be wondering why I chose these colors. Well, you're gonna have to go watch Friday's video to see. So Chadwick is going to be going to his new home. If I have the energy when I'm done filming this video, I might pack him up. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. So that was one thing that I crocheted this week. Then this one is technically not done because I need to sew the felt on or glue the felt on. But I made an Appa from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now this felt, like I said, it's not glued on or sewed on because I can't go upstairs to get any of my stuff, but I did get it pre-cut here. So this is actually a free blog pattern that I will link for you in the description box. And in the pattern, I'm gonna take this off so that it doesn't fall off, but you get the idea. He's supposed to have the little arrow. In the pattern, he almost looks like a sea otter. The head is sewn like downwards like that, and then the legs are sewn more here. So when I hold him up, he kind of looks like a spider a little bit, but that's because instead of him looking like a sea otter, I wanted him to be able to lay flat. I was just thinking practicality wise for displaying this at a market. I wasn't sure really how I was going to stand him up. I guess I could have used like a doll stand, but I don't know. I just felt like doing my own thing and sewing things on not according to the pattern. So that is why I sewed his head like this, and then his legs are more off to the side. So, whoop! Oh my gosh, he almost fell. So that he can lay flat like that. So this guy was a beast to make. No pun intended, because he is literally a beast. This was a lot of parts. So you had to make the horn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pieces, and then sew them all together. And the entire body and the face is color changes. So although this was a free pattern, I cannot see myself making another one anytime soon. And this guy took me like all week. I got Chadwick done in one day on Thursday when I filmed Friday's video. But this guy I started on Tuesday and it took me all week. And I just finished him today. And today all I did was sew everything together. So I am very pleased that I did not pay for a pattern for this, because when I was looking, a lot of the Appa patterns that I saw on Etsy, they were like $6 range. And for me personally, I don't want to spend that much money on a pattern that I'm only going to make one time. Because if I put, let's say, a $60 price on this, actually, we'll say $50 price on this, just for easy math, and I pay, I don't know, $5 for the pattern, then that is an additional $5 that I have to charge just to make back what I purchased the pattern for. And I don't know, I don't like the thought of that. So if it's a small pattern, like I would rather pay $10 for a small pattern than $10 for something like this. Because if I know that that small pattern is going to be a market staple for me, like for me, my Nyx the Dragon pattern, that's only a $4 pattern. But if that was $10 and if it wasn't my pattern, I would gladly buy that, because I would be able to pay that $10 back over and over and over again with how many of those items I sell. Whereas something like this, it's like you sell one to pay back the pattern, but then it's like, are you really gonna make more? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Let me know your opinion. I'm interested, like as a pattern writer and seller, what your guys' like threshold is when you see a pattern be, you know, X amount of dollars. What is considered too expensive for you? Because for me, it's like the $6 mark. If it's more than $6, then I have to say I need to be able to make this pattern over and over again. I'm not going to pay more than $6 if I'm only going to make it one time, unless it's for like a custom commission. But that's just me personally. That's why I always like to put like a $3 or $4 price on my pattern, because it makes them affordable for most people. Oh, by the way, side tangent, the first two patterns in my Snuggle Sprites collection, Faye the Fawn and Blossom the Bunny, they are almost done in testing. Those are going to be released on Etsy and on my website on November 7th. So keep an eye out for those, and I will remind you guys in next Monday's video. I think next Monday should be a This Week's Makes video, and I will remind you in that video. And then after that, then we've got surgery. So, but anywho, side tangent. So for Appa here, I used cream. He kind of looks like a spider. Should I have sewn his legs on a little bit lower? You know what? I feel like this is an easy fix. Maybe I could take some of this Burnout Baby that I used and just tack the legs down. Yeah, that's cute. Maybe I'll do that. Although I kind of like that he sploots. I'll leave him. Maybe somebody will love him like this. Anywho, the cream color is Burnout Baby Blanket, and I get my Burnout Baby from Walmart actually. And the white and the off-white, the cream, the antique white, whatever it is that they call it, this color, both skeins are so incredibly soft. Like if you guys have ever used Burnout Mystical, you know how soft that stuff is. That is what my Walmart has in white and off-white. And it's only those two colors that are that soft. I don't know why, but last time I went, they only had white. The time before that, they only had white. And so I have been keeping my eye out for this off-white, and I was so close to losing Yarn Chicken making this, but I had like this much left. So I gotta slap one of my Yarn Chicken Champion stickers on my shirt for winning Yarn Chicken with this guy. But I am bummed that I am out of this off-white color, because it is so incredibly soft and easy to work with. It's like butter. And I don't know if it's just new formula or what, and it's specifically my Walmart. Like if I go to Michael's and look at their white Bernat baby, it's not as soft as my Walmart is. So I don't know what is happening. I don't know what Walmart puts in the air there, or if they have some sort of like secret handshake with Bernat to get the really good stuff, but I'm not looking at gift horse in the mouth. Is that the saying? I think that it is. But anywho, so that is what this is. And then this brown is the caramel color from Premier Basic Chenille Brights, which I heard they've been out of for a couple of weeks. So I'm also glad that I didn't lose Yarn Chicken with this color. When I pulled the skein out, I was like, I might be cutting it close. But honestly, like I have like half the skein left. It did not take as much yarn as I thought that it would. And then this color, this lighter brown, this is the Premier Basic Chenille Brights in the color Oatmeal. And this is another colorway that I only have like a quarter of a skein left on, but I knew that I wasn't going to be using it for a ton of stuff on this guy, so I was confident that I had enough. I just put it on my to get list the next time I place a Premier order. Another side note for you guys, if you have been waiting to purchase any of the Premier yarns, so especially the ones that I talk about, like the plush, the Parfait Plush, Parfait Chunky, the Chenille Brights, Chenille Bloom, the Basics tie-dye, I think is what it's called. Any of those yarns, I have heard that Premier, starting November 5th, I think through the 10th, they're having like a site-wide seasonal sale. So if you have been waiting to order yarn, I recommend waiting until like, that week of November 5th. And if you want to, you can use my affiliate link in the description box. It won't cost you any more money, but I'll get like points back for it. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys wanted to use that. Consider it payment for me giving you the heads up that the yarn's going to be on sale. Now, I don't know how good of a sale it's going to be on, but for me personally, and I know a lot of you guys are the same way, if I'm placing a yarn order, I order enough to get free shipping because I will spend an extra $100 on yarn that I didn't need instead of paying $15 shipping. Anybody else like that? I know that you are because you've told me before that you're like that too. So I have a whole long list of yarn that I need to order, and caramel and oatmeal are two that are on that list that I want to not really stock up on, but get at least 3 skeins of, especially with the she shed coming. I'm going to have a lot more room to store yarn in the shed. No updates on that, by the way. We're just waiting for it to be built. Anywho, what else about this pattern? It was a lot of work. It was easy to follow. I will say though that the color changes do shift. So I am a yarn over person. You can either yarn over or yarn under, and that is when you stick your hook through the stitch. Some people bring the yarn over their hook and then pull through. That's what I do. Some people bring their yarn under their hook and then pull through. And I know like Robin at Naughty Hook Crochet, she's a yarn under person, and it creates a different look of stitch. Also, yarn under uses less yarn than yarn over. And yarn under also creates shorter, squattier stitches. So since I do yarn over, my plushies might tend to come out a little bit bigger than yours if you yarn under. Does that make sense? I was surprised at how many people did not know the difference between yarn over and yarn under who are crocheters. So pay attention when you're crocheting next time. Do you put the yarn over your hook or do you put it under your hook before you pull through? Because that does change your stitches, how big they are, and like the anatomy of them. Why did I mention that though? The pain meds, you guys, the pain meds. Look at his little tail though. It's so stinking cute. So this is Appa. I am going to be bringing him to my market on Saturday if I do end up going, which I'm really hoping to. I'm really going to try to. Honestly, just like sitting here with my legs straight doesn't hurt too bad, and that is a huge improvement from yesterday when just doing nothing I was in excruciating pain. So hopefully if I give it a few days, I'm still not going to be able to bear weight on it, but hopefully that like just aching pain will have subsided, and so it won't be too miserable to be there for a few hours. But anyways, that is all I have to show you guys today. Here, let me put his arrow back on. So stay tuned. I just spit all over the place. I hope you didn't see that. That was embarrassing. So stay tuned for next Monday's video. It might be this week's makes, or I might have the market vlog ready and up for you guys. And of course, if you are a member of the channel, then you get to see all of my videos early, like this one. Shout out members if you're watching this early right now. But if you are not a member of the Cosmic Couch Club and would like to be, there's a link in the description box down below to join the coziest couch in the cosmos. And thank you, members, for all of your support. I really, really appreciate it. And we're still going to do that members only live stream coming up here. Everything is up in the air right now, and I hope that you can understand, and I know that you do, because I love you guys. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week. Don't blow out your knee. I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, goodbye from my crutches and I now. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.